I'm the editor of HBS Dealer. That stands for Hardware and Building Supply. And you might know that every other Wednesday we publish a People Edition, showcasing some people who are making moves in the industry. One person that we wrote about was Mike Catalina, who's here with us today. Mike, can you say hello to the audience?
Hello, everybody.
Mike is a new outside sales manager for Russin, the Montgomery, New York-based LBM distributor and manufacturer. And we did a little background research on Mike and found a couple of things. One is that he has two dogs named Anakin and Kylo Ren. We're not going to discuss that today. But we also discovered that he is the author of Mondays with Mike, which gives sales advice. And could you talk about that a little bit, Mike?
Yeah, that came out of just a desire to enhance my social media presence. But I didn't want, obviously, the goal is to communicate product, communicate the company, communicate what I do. But I also felt like there should be a more personal side to it. I don't want to be all salesy. So I liked having one day a week where I just kind of talk about some things that I see in the industry or just in general. The alliteration of Mondays with Mike just seemed good. My girlfriend's a writer by trade, and she's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Keep going. So
in the recent edition, you talk about the difference between being a seller and being a servant.
Yep.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Back up. When I tell people I'm a salesperson, I think they get that. Or do you sell cars? Do you sell Fuller Brush Man? What do you do? And especially in our industry, well, it's the only industry I've been in, but it feels like in our industry, it's more about building a relationship and building trust with your customer. And I feel like that trust starts with you as a person, your integrity, the customer's ability to connect with you. And then once you feel that connection, then your company kind of comes second. And, being at Russin, the culture through Russin is a passion to serve and just, take care of the customer. And that really has to resonate through the whole company. I always said in my career, you could take the best salesperson, put them in an average company, and they'll struggle. And I think consequently, you can take an average salesperson, put them in a very strong service-oriented company, and they'll shine. So if you can get those two together, you can get your customer feeling comfortable with you and your company backs you, then your product almost is, again, like the third, because they're going to trust you. They're going to trust what you bring them. They're going to trust your expertise that, hey, it's Mike. He's bringing me a product. It must be okay because I trust Mike. So they give you that time to talk.
What's interesting to me about the sales profession is we see a lot of sales presentations about how to improve your sales. But there's the theory that salesmen, you can't teach a salesman. You're either born sales or you're not going to be good at it. How do you feel about that?
I do think there's probably some innate desire to connect with people, have a relationship, and want to help a person, not just write a PO. I've met plenty of salespeople, like I'm sure most of the audience have over their career, whether it's going to buy a car or my girlfriend and I were just thinking about buying an RV, and we went for a ride on a Sunday to just take a look and get some ideas. And the sales pressure to close that sale that day turned us off, and it got me thinking that gentleman may be good at what he does, but I don't think he's a trained salesperson that has a book of closes and, all right, now I'm on page 31 because the customer said this, and it just didn't feel genuine. He felt like, I got to sell you this so I can go on to the next customer. Mm-hmm. Where I've never felt like that in my career, that I've always felt like you have to foster that relationship. So I do think there's some innate desire to connect with people, but it has to be genuine too. I think you can train some basic sales skills, but a customer will or a prospect will know whether you're genuine or not.
One of the other things we've discovered in our exhaustive research on you, Mike, is that you're a guitarist for Livewire 518, Upstate New York's premier Motley Crue tribute band. And here we see you in action at a recent gig with your axe. And it looks like you've got a little bit of makeup on. It looks loud. It looks like great fun. How did you get involved?
So growing up in the 80s, I was an 80s hair metal fan. Started playing guitar when I was 13 because I read an article that Jimmy Page started when he was 13. And I said, well, heck, if he can do it, I can. So I've been playing my whole life. I grew up in Connecticut, played in a bunch of bar bands. Connecticut. Flash forward last year, I was playing in a band, another band, and we did a benefit show. And the person who arranged it had another benefit show coming up, and she had lost her drummer and her guitar player in her Motley Crue band. And we said, hey, we can fill in one night, no problem. We'll get it done. And the chemistry was awesome, and we've been playing ever since.
Throughout the industry, there's a lot of talented musicians. We've talked to them at the shows, and when we go to events, we see groups of lumber dealers get together and form and play music. Pretty elite level. Can you play a few chords for us?
Oh, sure. Is that, should I stand? Stand be better, Ken?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Oh, I'm comfortable either way.
Just no pyrotechnics, though.
No, I don't have any.
And I guarantee it sounds better live.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, is there any connection between your passion for music and your passion for sales in the LBM industry?
Oh, that's interesting. My girlfriend says I'm a natural ham, which I don't believe, but I guess when I'm on stage, maybe I am. So going back to that desire to serve, I think part of maybe the performance versus sales is that that adrenaline rush when you have that good prospect, you have that good sales call, you have that good time with a customer, you leave that meeting or that dinner and you say, man, we really connected on some level. And you kind of feel that when you play a gig and there's people chanting and singing with you, you just get that energy.
Excellent, Mike. Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I'm glad we got to introduce you to our audience.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike and Catalina, not only from 518 Livewire, but from Russin. And we wish you the best of luck, Mike.
Thank you, Ken.